Hey, Heidi, you guys are in for such a treat. I have a good friend of mine named Heidi Turley. Heidi, please introduce yourself to the audience.
Good morning, Francesca. It is so good to see you. I am Heidi Turley. I am a CPA. My current role is Vice President of Finance at a company called ASTM International, where I have oversight of our financial team, our HR department, and our facilities. So ASTM is a fantastic organization. It's a not-for-profit. We develop standards across over 100 different industries, and our tagline is helping our world succeed. And I'm all about that. Great company.
You are all about that. For all of you listening, Heidi and I worked together. It was probably the most fun I've ever had working in the corporate environment. And when she left before I did, I lost a piece of me. So the great news is we still keep in touch and we have these amazing conversations. And in fact, we had a conversation last week and I'm like, hey, do you want to be on my podcast? Because you have so much to offer, which is why I have her here today. And Heidi, you just articulated such a great story. So yes, it's not just your organization helping people, you help people. So let's talk about that. Let's unpack that conversation. You had some great leadership tips. Do you remember that, right?
Yeah, I do. So, it's interesting times that we're in right now with the remote work happening and remote work happening for such an extended period. Nobody expected that.
Right.
So one of the things that we're seeing with leaders is that you need to redefine your management skills. What worked in person may or may not be working in this remote world. You need to be more intentional. You have to have more outreach and you need to have some different skills. So over at ASTM, we had a series of conversations with our staff to find out what was working well for them and what wasn't working well for them. And they talked about some of their challenges with managing time, managing expectations, having those conversations. I know for myself in particular, I employ a technique called walk around management. I like to just walk around and touch base with everybody and see how they're doing. And you can pick up on their feel by just that short interaction, noticing their nonverbal. And in this virtual world, that doesn't happen. So we knew that we needed to talk to our leadership team about that to get them to start thinking about what they need to be doing differently. And to get our leadership team energized about it, I told a story that's very dear to me. So my dad is a handy type of guy. He bought a house up in Wilkes-Barre after the flood, and he did all the repair work. So he can do electrical, he can do plumbing, he can do drywall, you name it, Dad can do it. So as I became an adult and I got my own house, which needed some repairs, I would always call Dad and say, Dad, can you come help me? So I noticed that Dad would say, well, what project are we doing? And I would tell him we're doing plumbing. And he would bring all of these tools, and he had a bunch of different tools for that project. And I remember asking him once, I said, Dad, why do you bring so many tools? He said, well, Hides, because he calls me Hides, because I've learned over the years that having the right tool makes the project that much easier. I thought, you know what? Those are good words and they're applicable to a lot of things. And they're also applicable to your leadership skills. So this is a time right now where a lot of leaders are having difficult conversations with their staff about how they're feeling, what anxiety they're encountering as part of the return to the workforce. Just a lot more difficult conversations happening, and people need to be prepared. You need to have tools in your toolbox to handle those conversations. Right now at ASTM, we're talking about vaccination policies. It's a hard topic, it's a very passionate topic for many. They feel, broad spectrum of people's beliefs about it. Leaders need to have tools in their toolbox as to how to handle those difficult conversations. So as a leader, you need to continue to work on yourself to take some training programs, get some coaching, talk to your HR department, whoever your peers, whoever it is, so that when somebody hits you unexpectedly and says, hey, can we talk? And they present you with a difficult situation, you're ready to go. You've got that special tool for that special conversation, and you can handle it authentically. You can have the difficult conversation if it's needed, right? Nobody really likes those difficult conversations, but they're going to present themselves. So that's where I'm at. We've got to continue to keep working on yourself. Do your readings, do your trainings, whatever is necessary to always have good tools in your toolbox so you can be the best leader possible.
Oh, so well said. Thank you so much, because you did completely bring back the conversation that we had last week. And I'm so happy, because everyone needs to hear this. It's all about, yes, we need to work on ourselves so that we can help others through this anxiety-driven time. There's a lot changing again, right? So I so appreciate you putting it together, especially with a personal story. So great tips. And thank you, Mr. Turley, for having such a great story. You know, we need to have these tools in our toolbox. I would have never thought about it, but so appropriate to what we're doing today. So I didn't prepare you for this question.
Okay.
So it's kind of like personal, but I think you'll get it. So, because, you know, we talk about clothes and how they make us feel, and confidence and all of that. And you and I, we had some fun back in the day when we used to go shopping together, and I was like, oh, just try this on, Heidi. It'll be for you. And then I certainly saw you wear it. But of all the things you've ever owned, what is the one piece of clothing or accessory that's your favorite of all time, and how does it make you feel?
So it's a Doncaster jacket that I got probably 20 years ago that is actually still in my closet. And it's my go-to piece when I have a meeting where I'm feeling maybe a little bit less certain about my presentation abilities, either because of the audience or the topic or whatever it might be, but I just want to show up and feel confident in how I look, which then enables me to be more confident in how I speak and how I present. So it's a jacket that happily over 20 years still fits. So yay me, right?
That's right.
And I know I look good in it. It's just a classic piece. And I'm so grateful for it. I still remember going to my friend's house because she sold Doncaster out of her house. It was quite an expensive piece, but I made the investment in it. I'm very glad that I did. And I like to have more than one Doncaster jacket in my closet, not necessarily Doncaster because, you know, that line's not there anymore, but
Right.
those go-to pieces can really just, again, boost your confidence. Remember back way when Saturday Night Live had that comedian that used to say it's better to look good than to feel good? Do you remember
Right.
him? Who was that?
I don't remember. It wasn't Mike Myers, was it? I don't remember.
No, it was somebody classic, but he used to, oh, darling, it's always better to look good than to feel good, right? And there's something to be said about that. You know, I think it was Beyonce came out recently, or somebody, some big high profile person. They said, how do you feel when you're, you know, how do you get through things when you're not feeling good? She said, well, I just fake it, right? And so it's better to look good than to feel good. And sometimes that's true. When you've got that boost of looking good, then you start feeling good.
That's right. And I know exactly the jacket that you're talking about. You do look great in it. I do recall you wearing that particular piece when we had to present certain information to our boards, and you always excelling. So thank you for sharing that story, because I really do believe we need pieces in our closet, which is why I asked this question, and you get the gold star because you answered it so well. So thank you.
Yeah, and so funny, I was able to hone in on that piece. I knew exactly what you meant.
That's awesome. So Heidi, you're such a great resource of information. If anyone listening wanted to reach out to you and talk to you a little bit, what's the best place? Where's the best place that they can reach you?
Yeah, they can reach me directly through LinkedIn. So just go ahead and look me up on my profile, send me a message there, and I will be happy to respond.
Awesome. I'll be putting that contact information in the show notes for sure. And I can't thank you enough for your time today. You have so many great tips, and I appreciate you, Heidi. You're just so awesome. Thank you.
Well, I appreciate you too, Francesca. It's great to see you.
All right. Have a great day.
Thanks.